W.C. Fields, you remember that bulbous-nosed guy who he was born in Philadelphia, but he never had a kind word to say for it. On the other hand, Long Beach, California, is where he chose to live out his much later years. And it is Long Beach, California that we're going to be visiting. Not for the Hollywood-type glamour that you might associate with a big-time star, but he lived in sort of comfy, homey, and that's used a lot for Long Beach. It's charming, it's clean, it's fresh, it's right on the water, and it's got a style of its own that's very different from Hollywood, although it's almost next door. In any event, we're going to see a lot of Long Beach. We're going to see the Queen Mary that's docked there. We're going to see its lovely beaches. We're going to see a street fair that takes place every week along a promenade. The town has had a major revitalization in the past couple of years. It had kind of gone downhill, but now it really is swinging. There's new restaurants, there's new sense of itself, new hotels. It's a lovely place to visit when you want the Southern California climate. And of course, while we're in the neighborhood, we're going to visit that beautiful area to the north of Los Angeles and Hollywood and Beverly Hills. We're going to take a fast look at that legendary hotel, the Regent Beverly Wilshire, at the corner of Rodeo Drive and Wilshire Boulevard, home to the stars. As a matter of fact, one night having dinner there, sat next to Polly Bergen and Richard Dreyfuss. Not too shabby. Had a very good time. It's a most comfortable and welcoming hotel. And of course, Rodeo Drive with its mega name places, everybody from Harry Winston diamonds to Tiffany to Cartier, well, you name it. You can buy anything you want at any price. Probably anything you want, but I don't know whether it's all in the stores. Now, let's go take a look and let's have some fun while we visit Long Beach and Los Angeles. This is considered one of Southern California's best kept secrets. It's the Japanese garden at California State University in Long Beach. And this is about as good a place as any to start our tour of Long Beach, which is full, California, obviously, just a few miles from Los Angeles, full of all these hidden little secrets. We'll tell you about a lot of them as we go through. In the meantime, let's just enjoy this Japanese garden for a few minutes. And now it's feeding time for the fish in this beautiful pond. Can you see all these huge goldfish that are all gathering around as they're feeding them some bread? And this wonderful, wonderful greenery in the background. This has been so carefully tended. It's an exquisite garden. This entire garden was built in 1980, dedicated in 1981. This is 1994. Can you imagine that this magnificence has grown up around us in this short a time? All these specimen plants, it is very carefully tended by a special group from the university. This is a wonderful mural that was made in 1936 under Franklin Roosevelt's Work Progress Administration, known as WPA, and it has 466,000 tiles in this mural. And that's Lucy Daggett up there pointing to it and showing us about it. It's really an extraordinary work when you think about they're 50 years old just about, and it's just as modern today as it was the day it was made. Very exciting and very much a tourist attraction. We're just walking into the Long Beach Farmers Market that's held every Friday, and you can see it's sponsored by the Ecumenical Council. Flowers, fruit, vegetables, I don't know. Let's go take a look and see what they have. These things in the farmers market are pretty much all local fruits and vegetables. Here's eggplant for $1 a pound. These baby tiny eggplant that we hardly ever see at home. Elephant ear plums, green gauge plums. They must have 6 varieties of plums. And honeydews for $1 a piece. These are the farmers and bring their things in, and we'll walk down. This is the original hat lady, Linda Allen from Long Beach. Look at all these wonderful hats. She's modeling one of her own. I'll model one in a second. And I want you to know that she was from Upland, Pennsylvania. I don't think that one's too fetching.
Oh, that one works.
That one works? I don't know. Thank you, Linda. Just indicative of the different kinds of things they have here at this wonderful market, the marketplace on Fridays. And this handsome guy has blue block glasses. They block out all the blue in the light. Is that what it does? And we all wear them, says this lovely gal.
Absolutely, and I'd like to tell all the people in Philadelphia that you have to come down to California and Long Beach and meet with us, because we really need your tax money and everything.
So does Philadelphia, unfortunately. I'm going to rub this in. This is their own version of white diamonds. What's the name of your company?
Heaven. You're in heaven.
Heaven.
Perfume, oil, and incense.
How come? Oh, that's
Am I on
nice.
So when
TV?
you die, this is where you
You're
come.
on TV, Channel 66, Greater Media, Philadelphia.
Philly?
Yeah. Women's Professional Pro Beach Volleyball Tour is here in Long Beach. And we have 2 people from Russia and 2 people from where? I guess 2 of them are American, 2 of them are Russians. I'm not sure which is which, but boy, they are good. This is the heart of downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue. And you can see this, being California, you can eat outside or inside, and the weather is so gorgeous here. 300 and I forget how many days of sunshine a year. Across the street is the Pine Avenue Fish House, and down the way a little piece without an outdoor cafe is L'Opera, an Italian restaurant, meaning opera. And there's Italian lessons in the ladies' room and men's room too, I presume, although I haven't been there. Their little tiny tapas bar next to it called Alegria. That's very Spanish. And L'Opera is very Italian. And these other places are fish houses. And this is all on one block. It's really, Long Beach has changed so dramatically. It's a lovely, lovely city. That's the Breakers, the original hotel of Long Beach, when Long Beach was a very exclusive resort before it fell into hard times after the terrible earthquake they suffered. But there are still some of these gorgeous buildings and some many, many new ones that are just as handsome. But this is the Breakers. It was finally taken over a number of years ago by Hilton, and the word is that Elizabeth Taylor and Nicky Hilton spent their wedding night here, and the room is still maintained with Elizabeth Taylor's original furniture. I haven't seen it, I can't attest to it, but it's now a senior center. And diagonally across from the Breakers, and right smack across from the open air arena and the Queen Mary, is the new Sheraton. Very handsome with its gold glass front and lovely rooms, well maintained. This is the largest mural on the world that goes around this sports arena. Across the street from here, right across the street from the Sheraton and off Ocean Boulevard. This is Ocean Boulevard that used to run along the water in Long Beach, but it's now set back with landfill. Look at that gorgeous building up ahead of us. It's called the Via Riviera, and it's, whoa, there's a police car. It's in a magnificent French style, It's, of course, an apartment house and condominium, I guess, with gargoyles and the whole bit. It's really very, very beautiful and quite a landmark in this town. It was built in 1929 and survived the earthquake in 1933. We're at Shoji. Shoji, a wonderful Japanese restaurant in the Long Beach Sheraton Hotel. Group of people about to dive into some platters, some beautiful platters. You want to show us some of those? Show us some of that fish. Show us. Show the camera a little bit of that, what we're going to be having. Those are sushi, and then there are some platters closer here of sashimi, but it's all very authentically Japanese. As you can see, not a soul, I think not a soul, has a fork. We're all going to be using chopsticks, and good luck. I hope we all have enough to eat. What do you say, gang? Are we going to have enough to eat? This is Rancho Los Alamitos, historic ranch and gorgeous gardens. We'll see the gardens in a minute. But this is one of the original adobe houses in this part of California from about 1800, which is terribly old for here. The walls are about, 3.5, maybe even 4 feet thick. It's been restored. The original adobe house is inside this structure we see ahead of us. And in front of us is an unusual kind of tree. It's called an elephant foot palm tree. And I guess you can see why it's called elephant foot. But this is all we can see of the original adobe structure. Although you can see the thickness of the walls as I walk inside to the main part of the house. And you get a sense of how the Bixbys, who were an enormously rich family, lived during the time they were here, from late 19th century until through part of the 20th century. They had their 50th wedding anniversary in the house where they had about 1,000 people in 1948. So it is not terribly old by Eastern standards, but by California standards, it really is. Parlor and inside the original adobe structure. So it's interesting to see what they've done with it. It looks like a Victorian room, except they put this great big skylight in it. It's all furnished in pretty Victorian style things, and left pretty much as it was when the Bixbys were here. This is a wonderful arch of oleander trees, very typical in Southern California. And we've just come through the rose garden, which doesn't hold a patch on what we've got at Longwood, but this oleander walkway is really pretty spectacular. At the entrance to the Hotel Queen Mary, this is what has become of this venerable ship, the largest ocean-going passenger liner that was ever built. Magnificent, but now situated right here in Long Beach as a great huge hotel and a favorite place for even the locals to come for brunch and for people to have weddings, etc. We're in Piccadilly Circus, Piccadilly Corner. This was part of the first class section of the Queen Mary when she was afloat. There's the section that's called the Crown Jewels. We can walk over toward it and see what they have in that. I doubt if they're going to have the real thing, but we can take a peek and see what it is. Actually, these are all faux jewelry. They're all reproductions and some clothing, too. I wouldn't call it the Queen Mary or the Crown Jewels exactly. On the other hand, right across the way, right behind the cameraman, are magnificent crystal artifacts, objets d'art, coming from all over Europe, and I suppose they're sold here without taxes, which make them somewhat affordable. Not drop-dead giveaway cheap by any means. Well, this is entertainment on Piccadilly Circus. They look the part. They look British. I suspect they come from right here in Long Beach, California, however, but it's cute. This is the Grand Salon, the dining room that was the first-class dining room back in the olden days when Queen Mary was such a grand ship. It served as a troop ship during World War II, but before that it carried the Prince of Wales and Elizabeth Taylor and all kinds of fancy people. It was considered a great coup, a great honor, and it was considered very expensive, although, you know, considering today's prices, we wonder what was expensive then. In any event, it's sort of interesting to take a peek at this ship that was in service in the 1930s, 60 years ago, and considered very fancy. This is the main part of the dining salon. You can see how huge it was, and this was for first-class passengers only. There was a second-class dining salon that was a lot less fancy, and then a third class that was really a pretty dreary little, I don't want to say a hole, but it was a pretty dreary little room. You can see how grand this was, the light fixtures and so forth. Now you can get an idea of the immensity of this ship. Just huge. It was the largest thing afloat. And even today it's pretty awesome as you walk around, looking at the number of light boats, looking at the size of the smokestacks, looking at the number of gangplanks to enter and exit. It really is an awesome sight to see this ocean-going vessel. We're standing on Naples Island, which is part of Long Beach City, actually part of the city itself. This little tiny island up at the end of Long Beach is just all the most beautiful property. You can see how tiny the lots are here. They're all squeezed in together, but it's all surrounded by water and therefore very, very desirable property. They have huge palm trees here on the island and beautiful houses, and it's just considered a very desirable place to live. The sun shines here 300 and some odd days a year. Not bad, I'll tell you that. Very laid back, very relaxed, very pleasant. All right, we're about to go beach coastline, and our pilot and the owner of this airplane, what's the name of the company? Tell me again.
Company name is Ace Aerial Tours.
Ace Aerial Tours is going to take us for a tour of the coastline along Long Beach and Los Angeles. Do we go down as far as Los Angeles?
We won't get into downtown Los Angeles, but we'll be just south of LAX, so along the beaches of Hermosa, Manhattan. We'll go out around Palos Verdes Peninsula. We'll come down over the LA Harbor, the Vincent Thomas Bridge. We'll do a couple of circles around the Queen Mary, downtown Long Beach, Belmont Shore, and the Seal Beach area. And we might get down as far as Orange County into Huntington Harbor, depending on the weather down there.
Now, I'm going to tell you, when you talk about a bird's eye view of an area, this is Scott Rye, R-Y-E, as rye bread.
That's right.
He told me. He's the owner of this company, and they've been in business since
February of 1993.
If you get out here to Long Beach, make sure you do it. It's really a sensational experience. Here at the wine rack of a new restaurant called L'Opera on 2nd Avenue in Long Beach, indicative of the changes in Long Beach. This wasn't really a very lively area before, was it?
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, there was not so many restaurants in the area, And we come out with originally it was a bank this, and 4 years ago we come out with the idea. Actually, the owner of the place came out with the idea of putting a restaurant, and it was a good idea. Actually, we've been very successful.
How long? And tell us your name, please.
My name is Francesco. I am the manager at L'Opera.
Of L'Opera, and we're going to have some surprises for you in a few minutes. We're going into something we don't generally do. We're going into the ladies' room before we go into the kitchen.
I'm coming with it now. I'm just kidding.
L'Opera restaurant. Now, I don't generally take people into the ladies' room of a restaurant, but the reason we're here is because this one has Italian lessons, just so you don't waste your time. I was just listening to how you ask for your passport. Dove è mi passaporte?
Right. That's dove è il mio passaporto?
Okay, you see how much I learned just since I came in here? Let's go look at the rest of the restaurant. And just so that you know you're in California, you have a mural of stars here at the back of the restaurant. You can recognize Woody, of course. I don't know who the rest of the people are, but it doesn't matter. We're more interested in the food as stars. So let's go meet the chef. And here are the people, the real stars of this restaurant, the ones who prepare the food. We have Giuseppe here from Rome.
Roma,
From Roma. And you are, what is your job here?
sous chef.
Sous chef. And your name?
Donna,
Donna. And you are
the pastry chef.
executive pastry chef, I hear. So little, but she evidently I'm going to let you know whether she turns out good things. Tell me.
Jose Luis, I am the chef in charge.
Chef
In charge.
So now we have, you see, a coterie of people who are responsible for the food. We'll let you know if it's any good. We're going into the kitchen in a little while. People turn out the food. Look at this gorgeous kitchen. Can you imagine? Just absolutely in the everything in the open, so they don't have to hide a thing. You know that everything is sparkling clean, and I bet it's just as delicious as it looks. This is the lobby of the new part of the Regent Beverly Wilshire. It's Hollywood, but I tell you, it's like one of the grand old palaces of Europe. There's not many places like it in this part of the world. This isn't like Southern California. It's like France or Spain or Italy or Germany. But nevertheless, let's just enjoy it. We'll walk out and see where all the celebrities come in. And I mean, all kinds of celebrities stay here. Crowned heads as well as movie stars. So we feel as if we're in very privileged territory. This is the porte cochere, as it's called. This is where the cars come in. All kinds of limousines, little Mercedes convertibles, and very fancy doormats. Too bad there's not some of those huge Rolls Royces here tonight, but that's the race of the game, guys. You can see the ambience, the atmosphere in any event. Very elegant dining room of the Regent Beverly Wilshire. Quiet night, you see absolutely elegant, beautiful woodwork, beautiful draperies, every single thing about it, the table settings. It's a place that is an event to have dinner, and that's just what we're doing. standing at the famous corner of Hollywood and Vine. How can you be in Hollywood, California, Los Angeles, and not come over here to see what there is remaining? We are right in the middle of it, except there is no middle anymore. This used to be just crawling with starlets waiting to be discovered. And now there's old folks just like me here. And to my right is the Pantages Theater, the famous Pantages Theater. And we'll walk along a little bit, and then you'll see the famous record building, the round record building. Let's come along. Okay. The Star Walk, you can see Kirk Douglas, and next to that, Philadelphia's own Mike Wallace. Remember when he used to broadcast in Philadelphia? And there is the Capitol Records building. There are some vestiges of old Hollywood left here, but not much. It's pretty run down. This is in Pantages parking lot. And as you can see, one of the Star Wagons is here. This is a makeup truck. And there are all kinds of others across the street. There are dressing rooms. I guess something is going on, or they're getting ready for the Sound of Music, which is going to be playing here in a few days. Enjoyed our mini visit to California, to Southern California. Maybe one of these days we'll go to the north. But while we were in Long Beach and Los Angeles and Hollywood and Beverly Hills, I'm sure you had some different peeks at some different things that maybe you've seen before. Stick with us, stick with me, the roving reporter, Barbara Ann Rosenberg, and I'll take you to all manner of wonderful places in the months to come.